Good afternoon, students, and welcome back to English. Today, we will start talking about something new. We will start talking about present perfect tense. This is verb 3. So we have done verb 1, verb 2, and now we will start verb 3. Verb 3 is very difficult. It is not easy to learn. Today we will just start to talk about it, start to learn about it. We will take maybe 1 or 2 years to learn. It is quite difficult. It is not like verb 1 and verb 2, which are much simpler. Verb 1, you just do, you say verb 1 if you do it all the time, or verb 2, if it's finished already. But verb 3 is a little bit different and more difficult. So we can get started. So in English, we don't say verb 3. That's only in Thailand. In English, you will say present perfect tense. You will not see verb 3 on any kind of test like ONET. So try to remember, is present perfect tense is verb 3. So present perfect tense, maybe it's new to you. And as I said already, it is often called verb 3, but this is only in Thailand. This is not an English term. We don't say verb 3. This verb is very difficult to learn because it's very complicated. It has to do with time and the action. Also, it can have different meanings. So it will take a long time to learn. You will not learn it today or in 1 month. It will take a long time. But I will try to explain it a little bit today. And when we start school, again, we will talk about it a lot more with Teacher Far as well, so she can translate to Thai and try to help you understand. Also in this lesson, I have wrote some Thai. I don't like to write in Thai or speak Thai in an English class, but this is very difficult to understand. So to try to help you understand, I use a little bit of Thai. So I hope it will help you, especially for the gifted students. So first I will teach you to change a verb, verb 1 and verb 3. They are different. Usually verb 2 and verb 3 are the same. So if you know how to make verb 1 to verb 2, usually you can make it also verb 3. You will just add ed. But just like with verb 2, there are many irregular verb 3s. So if the verb is irregular in verb 2, it is also irregular in verb 3. So it means you do not add ed, you have to change the word to become a verb 3. And there is no easy way. You must memorize verb 3s. There is no easy way to learn, like add ed. So these are some examples of verb 3s that end in ed. But how you pronounce them, how you say them will be different. So I will go through them and pronounce them a little bit because some Thai students, they don't pronounce an ed ending correctly. So I will try to help you. So first one, verb 1, walk. Verb 2, walked. Verb 3, walked. So it is like a KT sound, walked. It's not walkhead. You will not say walkhead, walked. So next one, again, this is kicked. Kicked also has a T sound. So if you can see if the final letter of kick or walk ends with a K sound, then the ED will sound like a T. Walked, kicked. Okay, so if it ends in an S sound, then the ending will not sound like ED, it will only sound like D. So kissed, kissed, not kissed. We will not say kissed, kissed. So now if it ends with a T, then we will say the ED sound. So started, started. If it ends in a Y, studied, studied, not studied, studied. Again, this you will say the ed, wanted, wanted. So as maybe you can hear, if it ends with a T, you will say started, wanted. But the other ones you do not say like that. And talked, 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 like a T sound. And loved, loved, not loved. So these are the same as verb 2. Verb 2 and verb 3, if you add ed, they are the same in verb 3. Verb 3 and verb 2 will be the same if you add ed. So that's one easy part. That's probably the easiest part of verb 3. So we'll start to get into some ones that are irregular. You do not add ed to make it verb 3. So this is also the same as verb 2. Verb 1, has or have. Verb 2, had. Verb 3, had. This is different. Verb 1, eat. Verb 2, ate. Verb 3, eaten. Verb 1, give. Verb 2, gave. Verb 3, given. Verb 1, know. Verb 2, knew. Verb 3, known. So you can see many verb 3s end with an N sound. Or see, saw, seen. Sing, sang, sung. Write, wrote. This is not written. It has a double T. So we say written, written, not writen. If it only had one T, it would be writen. But two T's, written. And understood, understand, understood, understood. So even in the irregular ones, some are the same as verb 2, like had and understood are the same as verb 2, but many are different. Go, went, gone is another example. We will go through much more of these. In grade 5, you will get 50. You will have to learn 50, verb 1, verb 2, and verb 3, where you do not add ed. They're all irregular. It is through the year, though. You don't have to learn it in one day. Not like that. Okay, so when to use present perfect tense. This is quite difficult to learn and to understand when it is used. So we use it at different times, not all the same time, like verb 2. You use verb 2, it's finished, action is in the past, finished already. Verb 3 we use different times. Right now, today, I will talk about 2 of the most common times. Usually, it will be one of these 2 times, 2 ways to use it. So the first way, I think this is the easiest for you to learn, is have you ever. So it can mean the same as if you use it Thai, could. Have you ever eaten fish? Kun kui gin pla, right? So it can be the same in that sense as using could. So that's a little bit easy for you to learn. But another way that we can use it is, this is difficult to explain. So the action will be finished, but the time is not finished. So it's something that started in the past, but is not finished, but it's the time that you're thinking about, not the action. So I'll go through some examples with you. First, I'll explain this a little bit more. So for verb 2 is for actions that are finished, happened yesterday, last year, 2 months ago, and finished. They are finished. You are not doing them again. The time is finished, everything finished. But verb 3 is maybe the action is started and it's not finished yet. Maybe you'll do it again in the amount of time that is not finished. So you can use verb ing if the action is started, is not finished, and the time is not finished. So verb 2 for Finished action, finished time. Verb 3, started but not finished yet. And verb ing, started and still going. But verb 3, the action can be finished. So I like to point out here, it is not easy. It is very confusing, and especially in a Zoom class, it's difficult. But this is just to get you started, to talk a little bit about it. So when we talk about it in class, you can understand more. So I'll show you now a sentence structure, how to write in verb 3. So once you learn how to write it in verb 3, we can talk about when to use it more. First, you have to learn how to write a sentence in verb 3. So that's what I'll talk about now. And if you can remember before, we did sentence structure. And there are 3 types of sentences in English. There's positive, negative, and a question. So now I will go through each one of these, how to write a sentence. And if you remember, there are 2 times that we will use verb 3. So it can be like 可以, it can be ever, or it can be like this. It can be something that started and not finished. So I will go through each sentence, positive, negative, and question, in both ways, as in 可以, so a question, negative, and question, like 可以, and question, or positive, negative, and question, it has started but not finished. So you're going to have 6 sentence structures. So I'll try to get positive is the easiest one to learn, I think, if you're going to say a positive sentence. So the subject, I, you, we, they, he, she, it, plus has or have. Now you have to write has or have before verb 3. So this is different than verb 1 and verb 2, where you will not do it. It's similar to verb ing, where you will say I am, he is, we are before verb ing. For verb 3, you will say has or have before verb 3. And then to finish the sentence, you can write the object or some more information. And remember, for I, you, we, they, write have, and for he, she, it, write has. Okay, so I'll write some examples. So have you ever, this is like could, to say could in English. So first one, I have eaten fish. So the subject is I. The next word have or has, for I we use have. Verb 3 of eat is eaten, and then what I eat is fish. I will also go through Thai, what these mean in Thai. I don't know if my Thai is correct, but I try. Next one, he has gone to Bangkok. So subject is he. For he, we'll use has, not have. And verb 3 of go, we write gone. And then to Bangkok, to Japan, to America. Can be anything. Next one, she has had COVID. So here, the subject, she, and then has. Even if the verb is have, you still must write has before anything. And then verb 3 for have is had, same as verb 2. So now I'll go through in Thai what these mean. So I have eaten fish means ฉันเคยกินปลา. Maybe I won't read Thai because I'm not good at reading Thai. Maybe you can read. So he has gone to Bangkok. So he, subject how, has gone changes to เคยไป. So has gone is the same as เคยไป, and then Bangkok. She has had COVID. เคยมี so has had is เคยมี so just to remember, so have eaten เคยกิน or has gone เคยไป has had เคยมี okay, this is one way to use verb 3. Many times in Thai you are taught เคย means ever, and it can mean ever, but also in these sentences there is ever is not written. Do not write ever in a positive sentence. We will see later when we write ever. But usually in a positive sentence, you don't write it. Verb 3 already means could. You will not say Chan could gin pla. You will not say it twice. Same in English. Verb 3 already means could. So you don't have to write ever in a positive sentence. So now I'll try to go through example of type 2. So you've started something, but it's not finished yet. So I have eaten fish today. So this is where I'll try to start to explain about something that has started but not finished. So it's not the eating fish. I have eaten it. I already ate it. The action of it's not I am eating fish. I am eating is I'm not finished yet. It is the time. Today is started but not finished. It is today that is not finished. Not the eating of the fish. The eating of the fish is finished. So maybe for breakfast. I have eaten fish today for breakfast. You could not say I have eaten fish for dinner because I have not eaten dinner yet. So I'll try to explain some more, give you more examples, change the examples to a type 2. So he has gone to Bangkok this month. So this month is June. So you could say June. He has gone to Bangkok in June. So again, going to Bangkok, he already went to Bangkok. That he went is verb 2. But we use verb 3 with this month because this month is not finished. June has started, but it's not finished. So when you say he has gone to Bangkok this month, you can use verb 3. If it's last month, if you're talking about May, then you would say he went to Bangkok in May because May is finished already. But this month, June, is not finished yet. So one more. She has had COVID this year. So again, this year has not finished. If 2020, we will just use verb 2. She had COVID last year. So I don't know how to translate this in Thai. This is the best that I did. So I have eaten fish. Wani chan daigin pa. I don't know if that's correct, but it's different than could. You're just talking about today. So these are the other translations. I don't know which is correct and which is not, but this is my best. And Teacher Far will explain more once we get to class. So how about negative? How to write a negative sentence. So with this one, with type 1, if you've never done it, myเคย, then subject plus has or have plus never and verb 3 and whatever. So we add the word never to mean myเคย, add the word never. So some examples of type 1, I will use the same examples so you can see the difference in how to write the same sentence. So instead of I have eaten fish, I have never eaten fish. This means myเคย and myเคยกินปลา. Or he has never gone to Bangkok. So as you can see, it's the same as type 1 positive. You just add never. She has never had COVID. So I also put the translations, but I think this is a little bit easy because it's the same as positive. You just add never. And the type 1, the way to use it is a little bit easier to understand because you have a word in Thai, khơi, that means the same thing, khơi, my khơi. So how about type 2, the other way? So for an action that started but not finished yet. So not meaning khơi. So in this way, we don't say the word never. We will say the word not. So subject plus has or have plus not plus verb 3 and then plus your object and usually a time. If you're using type 2, you will usually have a time. This month, this year, today. If you're using type 1, as in khơi, there will be no time. The time is your life. Or instead of has not or have not, you can write hasn't or haven't. They mean the same thing. You can write up to you. It doesn't matter, the same. So examples, how to write in a negative sentence. So this, I haven't eaten fish today. So as you can see, it's not my khơiกินปลา. No, it's just today I haven't eaten fish. Today is not finished. Maybe I will eat fish later. I don't know. But this just means for today that hasn't finished. Or he hasn't gone to Bangkok this month. Or she has not had COVID this year. So I think you know already, has not, have not, hasn't, haven't, they're the same. You can write both. But as you can see in this way, when you are saying it about a certain time, today, or this month, or this year, then it doesn't mean khơi. It's not the same as khơi. Then it just means for that time. And that time must be started, but not finished. So again, I will give you Thai translations that I don't know if they are correct or not correct, but I think you can figure it out and hopefully understand. Okay, so how about questions? So questions, this is where we start to use ever. So as you can see, subject is not first, as in most questions in English. This time you write have or has first, then the subject, and then ever. So if a positive sentence, you do not use ever or never. Negative, use never. Question, use ever. And then verb 3, and then the object or some more information. So again, I'll go through some examples of this type of khơi type. So have I eaten fish? This is not a normal question. I will never ask this because I already know. But just to show you the same example in different ways to use it. Have I ever eaten fish? Has she ever gone to Bangkok? And has she ever had COVID? As you can see, ever is in the same place between the subject and the verb. When we write never, it is between has and have or the verb. But because have or has is first, we write ever before the noun, before the verb. Always before the verb. So these are Thai translations. It is similar to the positive, you just add mine to the end. So this is a question type 1. Again, there is no time. There is no time that has started and not finished. It is just in your life when you lived. So in type 2, now you're not saying, it's not about khơi. It's just something that has started and not finished. So if this is your type of question we're asking, And it's have or has first, and then subject, and then verb 3, and then something. So there's no ever. It's the same as type 1, but just without ever, no ever. That is why many times students are told that ever means could, especially in a question. So some examples how to change this to a question for type 2. So, have I eaten fish today? Again, this is not a question I would ever ask because I always know if I have eaten fish or not. I don't have to ask. But just to say with the same example. So has he gone to Bangkok this month? And has she had COVID this year? So instead of ever, in between the subject and the verb, there is a time at the end. Today, this month, this year is an amount of time. And I'll give you Thai translations. Again, type 2, I am not sure if they are correct or not correct, but we'll explain more in class when we start class. Okay, so now a little bit about type 1 versus type 2. What is the difference? So type 1, again, could. There is no time. Will not have this month or today or 2021. The time is the person's life, your life, or the subject's life. In type 2, there is usually a time, and the time cannot be finished. It will not be finished. It will not be yesterday or last month or 2019. No, it will be a time started but not finished. Okay, so today, June, this month, 2021, this year, hot season. These are all words that have started but not finished. You cannot say yesterday or last month because they're finished already. And you cannot say tomorrow or next year because they have not started. So must start but not finish. So if finished, cannot say it. If not started, cannot say it. Okay, so now we can practice a little bit. I don't know. So I will give you verb 1 or verb 2 sentence, and you change it to a verb 3 sentence. See if you can do this. So first, you must know if the sentence is a positive sentence, negative sentence, or a question, and then figure out how to change it. You can write type 1 or type 2, up to you. Both can be correct. Okay. Now, yes, you can write either one. They're both okay. So maybe the first one can just do a little bit of an example. So I show you the verbs here, verb 1, verb 2, and verb 3. So I'll change it to verb 3. We don't go to Japan. So this is a negative sentence. So you must change this word. And this is verb 1. So you must also change this word. Just show you as an example this one. And then maybe next one you can write in the chat. So you can say, this is type 1. We have never gone to Japan. Or you can write type 2. We haven't gone to Japan, or we have not gone to Japan. Okay, so I will give you 2 more to practice. Can write in the chat if you can figure out how to write a verb 3 sentence. So this is example. I'll show you the next one. So this is positive, negative, or question, and then change to verb 3. Try to write in the chat. Okay, maybe this is difficult. Maybe I can go through it with you. So first, does he study English? This is a question. So if you have a verb 3 question, no, yeah, I just saw. Yes, no, correct. So if it's a question, the first word will be have or has. With he, it is has. And then the subject, which is he. And then you will change study to verb 3. And then English will stay the same. So you will end with the sentence, has he ever studied English, or has he studied English? Both of these are verb 3. So one more you can try before we run out of time. So I kissed a dog. Again, the verb 1 kissed, verb 2 kissed, and verb 3 kissed. So positive, negative, or question, and then how to write it in verb 3. This one I think is the easiest. Positive sentences are usually the easiest, I think, for verb 3. Yeah, you just add the word have to make it verb 3. So I have kissed the dog. There is only one way to write this. You will not say I have ever kissed the dog. You will not say. Okay, so that's all the time for today. I hope you have a good weekend and learn a little bit about verb 3. We will go through it much more in class throughout the year. So have a good weekend and I'll see you Monday. Bye.